Hi, Lonnie at the Reid farm. It is late December and we are getting ready for potential cold snaps here, and we are at our cassava patch. We don't want to let these canes go through a freeze. They will pretty much melt to the ground, and this is our propagation material for next year's crop. All of this, I only need little sections. This variety is called Shan's Yellow. Very good grower. Small plants, big roots. We've had really good success with it. But as for my spring preparation for cassava, is I need to get it out of the ground now. We're at the end of the season. We've had a full season of growth. The roots are ready to come out. I don't want to leave the roots in the ground for too long because they'll get woody and inedible, and then it's a waste of growth. I also do not want to risk losing all my propagation material for the springtime. These will very easily make it over winter, just leaning up in a corner. I usually throw them in the greenhouse, just in an inconspicuous spot, and I go back in there around March, pull them out, chop them into 8-inch sections, and in the ground they go, and a nice big harvest comes out. So we're gonna dig a little bit of this and show you what we got here. I haven't touched this, so I don't know what we're about to get into. Oh, it's looking promising. Just snap the tip off of that little one. That's just one of the reasons you want to dig like this, as opposed to just grabbing the plant and yanking, because it is a very delicate root. As you can see, this is, it breaks easily. So I don't want to break it all off and lose it in the ground. So we like to, really expose the root to right there. Go. There's one beautiful root, and you just kind of got to dig around and see what direction they went. Oh, there's another big one. Yep, we got something over here. Oh, big old giant one over there. It's not advised to start cassava, pre-start them in pots, because the initial roots tend to circle around, and the initials are your biggest, mainest roots. So if they start circling in a pot, you end up with these weird circly roots, and they're difficult to deal with. Wow, look at that guy. Nice, big, long root. I broke a small piece off of it. Another piece. Weight of the plant just took it over. I heard something snap. It's such a easy thing to grow. What a great Central Florida winter. Staple crop, lots of calories here. Another nice big root. More big roots. Look at all of that food. This is all off of one single cutting that I put in the ground in March. And now all of this becomes my propagation material. I will simply leave these as large as I possibly can. I might snap these off, but don't cut them down into little lengths. For every cut, you're leaving area for moisture to escape, and these to just degrade and die away. So we'll remove the leaves so there's no transpiration through the leaves, but I will keep every bit of this cane. I've already started a pile as we've been harvesting and using some of this cassava. And I've just been kind of laying in here waiting for me to take it all into the greenhouse. I suspect there might be a couple more pieces of root in the ground over here, so yep, sure enough. Another piece. Just gonna kind of poke around and make sure I got it all, but that's a great harvest from one small cutting. We're gonna take this inside, process it all down, make some flour with it. But that's what we're doing in Central Florida as far as spring preparation right now, because we are still actually planting some of our fall crops and our winter crops.
Hey everyone.
Hello. So we're cleaning up our cassava that we harvested the other day. There's some of the roots. There's my clean cassava. And I've got a little dump bucket for scraps and peels and stuff. It's pretty easy on these younger roots. Take off the little tiny stuff. And I take a little paring knife. You don't need much, it doesn't take a lot. And I'm just running down the tip Do this very controlled and very slowly so you're not cutting yourself. And then I can put the knife down, and then I just kind of get my finger in there. On the younger roots, let me see if I can get to a good position. On the younger roots, it really just kind of peels open very nicely. And you just kind of run your finger down in there, and it pops right off. There's no need to be like cutting it. I've had some where I had to cut it. I'm gonna angle this down a little bit so I'm a little more comfortable. I've had some pieces, I think they were just old. You know, once they get old, the skins really stick. But it's kind of like you can just kind of run your fingers underneath it and it pops right off, rather than having to cut it. But it's just one of these things you just got to sit down and put some time into. But if you're having to cut the stuff off, there's a good chance your roots are going to be kind of woody and real tough. See, it just kind of comes off. A butter knife actually worked pretty nice to take it off, but this stuff is peeling so well that I don't know that it's even necessary. And the really big roots, they really seem to peel quite easily. So there's a root. Take off the nasty part. Little tip, it's a little woody. There it is. On to the next. I'm going to find a nice big piece. So there's a big piece with a big long root. So I'm going to take off the big long root. We don't need that part. So we've got this big giant thing here. And I just stick the knife into it. I'm going to find it. There it is. Just kind of run my finger up the side and it peels right up. You can see how it's kind of just pulling right off.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's neat how it comes right off. In big flaps. Jaxie just collected eggs. Show everyone your egg harvest. Bunches of eggs. That's a pretty big hunk of calories right here. It peels really easily. We're going to run these through the shredder here shortly. We're going to shred them, and we're going to dehydrate them, and we're going to have it ready for flour. So not a very difficult process, not super labor intensive, just something to sit down and do. So I'm going to turn on some music and hang out here for a little bit, finish this bucket of roots, and then we'll go inside and we'll check out what it looks like to run the stuff through the food processor and turn it to shreds. But there's a nice big hunk of cassava. Chop off this. Find that woody part. We don't want to be 18 eggs. Right on, dude. There you go. Clean calories. On to the next. So here we are, chopping it up and removing this woody spine. That is this guy right here in the center. You'll find it's rather easy to take out. When it's thick, you can just peel off the good parts and it pulls right out. And you end up with good flesh. Small cut, split. And there's a good piece. You can see this thing sticking out. And I can just kind of rip it right out of there. You don't want that in there. It's just like fiber. Man, it's literally like a piece of wood. But it comes out. If it's there, it comes right out. You'll know. So right there you can see where it pulled right out of that little center spot right there, and I know it's right here, so I can just dig in there and just go find her. And you snap them, and there it is. It pulls right out. If you can snap it and break it, it's obviously not going to get in your way. So you got little pieces like that. These little tip pieces that were insignificant, but see, there's that little piece of woody goo. So we're getting that out and getting this stuff all ready. I'm going to send it through the food processor and grind it all down, and then we are going to put it on our new dehydrator and
get it, put in jars, and then when we're ready, I have a little mill that I'm going to run it through. You can always just pound it and beat the hell out of it and turn it into flour. Lots of ways to do it. I'm using our all of our appliances. We are appliance heavy over here at the farm. We have so many appliances. It's kind of neat. We get to take advantage of technology while still doing it Stone Age style. So, oh yeah, feel that sucker in there. See, I can peel that right off. You can see that ridge right in there. That's just straight wood. So I can crack all the flesh right off of it. Neat demonstration right there. Good piece. Chunk of wood. And that sucker broke off in there. Some of these pieces also I will just discard because they're just a little tough on the top edges of them. If I can't slice right through it like that, then it's probably not something I want to be eating anyway, because it'll be real hard to get through. So here we have our Ninja food processor. Nice Japanese chunks there. Nice from YouTube pulp. And that's how we do it. Turn it into some beautiful pulp. I'm going to keep grinding a little bit and get that done, but down there we have all this beautiful pulp. I'm going to squeeze out the water and we're going to put it on the dehydrator. Alright, here is what's next. I'm leaving what's on top. That didn't quite get ground up yet. Pull out the disc, put that aside, and we have this big tub full of ground up cassava. That is a lot of ground up cassava. We have tons. And I still have all of that to do, so I'm going to end up with quite a bit of pulp. I'm going to squeeze it, get the moisture out, and then spread it out on all my new trays, my big beautiful 16 tray dehydrator that my boy Jimmy got for me for Christmas. Little Big Daddy hooking up Big Daddy. He called me Big Daddy. I call him Little Big Daddy. He's my dog. I'm going to get back to it, and I'll show you when we set it in the dehydrator. So here is our big, beautiful new dehydrator with all these trays. We are going to load them with cassava, pulp, spread it out. I got a 16 tray, so I should have enough room. This thing is a boss. We did Roselle the other day. That came out very quickly. First one out so we can catch whatever I miss on the second one. You can sun dry this too. I was just watching a video on how one lady was sun drying hers. But this is kind of why we got this thing, was to do larger numbers of things so we can get through all of these things we're growing. We are growing a lot of stuff and really trying to focus a lot more on preserving them and having all this stuff put away because we've generally just used a lot of it kind of as we go. So now we're really focusing on preservation this year. Man, I hope I can get it. This is a ton. A ton. Luckily, this dude is very quick, and I imagine this will go. Probably just a few hours. It really gets it done. And it's so nice, it heats this room up. We've been sleeping out here in our yoga room. My camera lady really likes sleeping out here. Right?
Yes. I like doing yoga out here too, which I'm about to do after this video.
Me too. I'm gonna get down, stretch a little bit. My body is very tight lately. Too much farm work. It's good for you. Farm work definitely beats me up. 10 years straight with a bunch of construction peppered in there. I've had enough labor. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing 2 batches. No chance we're doing all this anymore. This is our entire harvest of cassava for this season. What do we have, like, not that many really. I was just trying to bring in this new variety, the Shan's Yellow, so what do we have, like 10 plants?
Yeah, probably.
And it all started from one plant, and we made a bunch of cuttings this past season. We got them put in there. And now what we harvested is sitting in our greenhouse, full size. Please do not cut up your cassava at this time of year. It is the wrong time of year. Let it stay whole. The cuttings will stay in better shape. Seeing people selling potted cassava cuttings right now, and like in December, January is the exact wrong time to plant it. If we get a freeze, the stuff is gone. You don't want to cut it up until it's time to put it in the ground. We just leave them full size, laying on the ground in the greenhouse, or in the garage, or in your house, or wherever. I mean, it really does not matter where you leave it. The stuff just doesn't go bad as long as it doesn't freeze. It can last months and months and months just sitting there. So please, for the sake of your future harvest, leave your cassava alone and put it straight in the ground. When the time comes, we shoot for March. The reason straight in the ground is because those initial roots that start, those are your food. Those are what I am dehydrating right now. And if you put them in little pots, those roots start to circle the pots. And it does not give you a very good result. You end up with these weird, circly, weird, odd roots that are very difficult to deal with. We might pull this off. We just might get it all in here. So for Central Florida, where we are with this climate where we have to deal with the potential freeze, that's when we're planting in March. We'll take them all out, cut them up into 8 or 10 inch sections, spread an area out. They do not need much. They don't need a whole lot of anything. They grow in the most useless garbage soil ever, which is why it's such a good survival crop. Need to get a little more for those cayennes that I just dried out. Let's try it. What do you think we're gonna make it?
I don't know.
So
It'll be close.
chunk of wood didn't get ground up. Kind of nice using that food processor. It doesn't grind up the woody stuff at all. It just spits it out the top. So
even if you miss some of that woodiness, that woody core, the food processor just takes care of it for you.
That's the Ninja Foodie food
The
processor.
Ninja Foodie. We have a bunch of the Ninja stuff. I love those things. Awesome. Very awesome. The Ninja Foodie itself is just amazing. The stuff that you have turned out. The meals that we've gotten to eat from the Ninja Foodie is so easy. Harvest a whole bunch of stuff from out in the garden, walk inside, smash it all into the Ninja Foodie, press start, walk away. Like, how many times have you done that?
So many.
So many. And then we can go do things outside or go get in other projects and then come inside. And it just sits there waiting for you to get back with amazing food.
Or when we want something, we're like, oh, we didn't plan for dinner. What do we do? Everything's going to take forever. Not in the Ninja Foodie.
Ninja Foodie. All right, we're going to make it here. We're
Oh,
gonna get
nice.
every bit of this. It's awesome having a giant dehydrator. Thank you, Jimmy, little big daddy. You guys haven't met Jimmy yet. He is around. He is living in a tiny house, chilling with us here on the farm. He is one of my best friends. Jimmy is an amazing character. He is our tree trimmer. If you do happen to need your trees trimmed, Elegant Earth. He was so lovely as to purchase this for us for Christmas as a great addition to the farm. So we can do things like this, and then click, turn it on. I'm gonna go at 70 degrees for about 8 hours, and that's that. And then we'll take it out, and when it comes time to process it into flour, we're gonna leave it at that stage, because if we break it all the way down to like powder, it'll degrade, and there's a bit of it. We'll use this guy. This goes on the KitchenAid. It's a little mill, grain mill. We've put a bunch of things through there so far, and it's done a really nice job. We did corn, we did beans, we did a whole bunch of stuff with this. Grinding them down, some for chicken food, some for us, and it's been very effective. It was only like $100. And for the KitchenAid mixer, now we have two, because Madison bought hers. So there you go. There is from harvest all the way to the dehydrator. That's how you do it. Jaxie making cassava flour. Here's what we've got left. And he can make some boba. There's the KitchenAid mixer and the KitchenAid grain mill doing its thing.
Look at how smooth that is.
Yeah, cool. I think Mommy's gonna make some cassava bread in a little while. And that's gonna be delicious. Super easy to do this.